Hey, good morning, students. Welcome to your sixth day of distance learning. In our day six folder today, you're going to see three activities. You've got your day six warm-up discussion. I appreciate all of you that have been checking in with that warm-up discussion. It's nice to see all of your responses. It's a nice way for us to stay connected. Remember, you guys can respond to each other's discussion posts if you'd like to start up a little bit of a conversation, and I will also make sure that I'm doing a better job of responding to you as well. After you complete your warm-up discussion for the day, you will be watching this video, which you should be watching right now. After viewing today's video lesson, you're going to go into your day six activity. It's another short story, this time called Thank You, Ma'am. For this activity, you're going to be doing a similar annotation process as the one you did last week. As the instructions point out, you are going to be reading and highlighting examples of the methods of characterization. Specifically, you're going to be looking at Roger and the character traits that are developed throughout the story for Roger. So you should be looking for details about Roger's looks. And one thing we ran into with last week's story is that it doesn't always explicitly say what Roger looks like. But if you can think about what's happening in the story, you might be able to come up with an idea about Roger's appearance. You also want to find examples of Roger's actions. What are the things he thinks about? What are the things he does? What are the things he says? And you also want to be looking for examples of his relationships. In this story, there's a pretty important relationship to Roger with the other woman in the story. And so think about how that relationship in this story develops and changes Roger over the course of the short story. Now, one thing I did notice in our stories for last week is that oftentimes you guys were just finding one example of each of these in the story. You really want to make sure that you're finding multiple examples of Roger's looks, his actions, and his relationships. That will help you later on this week when you do your character development activity. So if you think about this story as two parts, there's the exposition at the beginning of the story, then there's some sort of climax, an event that takes place that changes Roger, and then there is the resolution and the way the story ends. If you can find two examples for each of these at the start of the story, as well as towards the end of the story, it'll make it easier for you to talk about how Roger develops and changes over the course of the story. I look forward to looking at your character development activities from last week. I will have some more feedback on those for you when we start working on our character development activity for this one. I want to remind you that these activities are the ones that are getting graded. It's not the warm-up discussions. I appreciate you doing the warm-up discussions because it's a great way for us to check in with one another. But these activities that come after the videos are the most important activities you can complete. So please take the time to do these activities and turn them into me. Until next time, I'll talk to you then. Have a good day.